It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your horror panel is? Hi everyone, I'm DEERE. I'm the founder of Team Stream Queens. I'm assuming that I'm live. I'm hoping. Does anyone see me?
I see you.
Cool. Okay, so, hey y'all. I'm DEERE. Let's play What You Fear. I like to play scary games on Twitch. But we've got lots of people that like scary things here. Hey everybody, wave to the kids.
Hi.
We are here on the Final Girls panel at Stream Queens Con. Very happy to be here. Have you loved all the content today? I sure have.
Yes.
Basically, we are here to just talk about horror, why we love it, what makes it go hand in hand with queer culture, and just how it motivates us to be creative. And on that note, let's take a look at our Stream Queens members that are joining us tonight. We've got Bish Pubs.
Hi, I'm Bitch Puddin', also star of December, which is now streaming on Amazon, which is like it's an advent calendar for horror movies. That's why I'm in a Christmas horror movie now. I'm in the movie called Milk and Cookies. I also won Dragula Season 2, and I love DEERE. Hi, everybody.
Woo! Yes, come on, Bish Pubs. Make some noise for Bish Pubs.
How much poodles?
We've also got Eat a Salad. I'd like to take a bite. Look at that hair.
Yes. Hi, my name is Eat a Salad. I'm Twitch's resident plus-sized vegan drag queen, and I'm so excited to be here. And although I'm not in any Amazon movies, Amazon does know all of my personal information and my shopping history.
Love it. Thank you so much. Eat a Salad. And we aren't just stream queens here on the horror panel. We've also got some amazing creatives, such as Drew Talbot.
Hi. I'm Drew Talbot. I'm a professional makeup effects artist, former Twitch streamer, although it's been a while.
You still have a channel. It still exists.
It still exists.
You could follow.
There ain't nothing there to see, but it exists. And I love all things horror movies and DEERE and her beautiful face.
Oh, stop.
I won't. You can't make me.
We've also got Shannon Van Pelt. Hey, Shannon.
Sculptress of the dark art, self-proclaimed. But yeah, I'm Shannon Van Pelt. I do sculptures. I used to stream on Twitch quite a bit in the creative section. But now mostly I'm just posting on Twitter and Instagram at Shannon Van Pelt.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Well, we are here to talk about horror. So now we know the panelists. Let's jump into it. So what is our favorite type of media? I'll say my favorite type of media is video games and horror video games specifically. But what do we like? Do we like film? Do we like TV? Do we like books? Like, do we like audio, music, horror? Like, what inspires us, or what do we enjoy the most? Go ahead, bitch.
Oh, what do I like the most? Well,
yes,
I would say video games because, you know, I'm a video game girl. I got inspired. Like, my drag character, for those who don't know, is very much inspired by video game vixens, you know, like bitches who are beating bad guys up in thongs and Street Fighter, Castlevania, you know, Soul Calibur. I really love those whole things. But yeah, I think video games is like, especially with Metal Gear, although it's not like pops out as a horror iconic, you know, like moment, but the moment to me where it really like shook me, other than Resident Evil, of course, and the door opened up, we all were like, oh fuck, like we were like scared as shit. But for me, it was the Metal Gear scene where you saw the cyborg ninja for the first time, and you walk into that thing and you just see a sea of dead people being filleted and blood being explored, and I was like, I've seen some movies, but this is literally, I am terrified for my life, and I don't know what's gonna happen next, and I'm ready to die. I'm here. I'm ready.
That's
video games for me for sure.
That's Mantis, right? That's the character with the gas.
No,
mask,
that's
right?
later on. So Mantis was later. So the first thing of you got of horror was the cyborg like ninja who like camouflaged himself and came back out. He ended up like being your friend in the end and helped you in the spoiler alert. He helped you in the end.
Yeah. It came out like how long ago?
That scene, like I literally, like, I don't know if you can tell, but like I have goosebumps. Like my hair is literally like raising on the unshaved arms that I do have. I can feel the hair raising on my arms about that scene. It's just like, it gives me the chills.
I love it. I that game. like to play that one, but it's visually, it is stunning. It really like gives you feels.
It was definitely the first thing that I ever played where I thought video games could be art, you know, because it was like, you know, it was one of the first games that incorporated full-on voice design. It really captured you in the moment that like a movie would, but it was also playable, it was interactive. You were like diving in and seeking your teeth in. It was rewarding in like little nuggets here and there. And a lot of the game was horrifying, you know, it was like horrifying themes about war, about nuclear holocaust, what that could be like, you know, and like realism in terms of like seeing a ninja cut up like people and you have to walk up and get to the next part of the game. It's and literally Psycho Mantis who takes over your goddamn controller. That shit's terrifying. As a 7-9-year-old boy, I was like, what is going on?
That's the best kind of horror.
Unplug the controller to be him. How does that work? What? It was terrifying. Video games for sure.
Thank you, bitch. Bitch poems. Okay. Eat a salad. Same question. Favorite media?
I am a huge film buff. I love horror films. I've really liked horror films for a very, very long time. I will say lately, however, my interests have really sort of evolved into the horror like mini-series that you'll find on television. I think that there has been a lot of really, really successful horror pieces that have come out recently. And I think a lot of that has to do with the American Horror Stories that have all kind of come out. But from that have really stemmed some really, really interesting pieces, like The Haunting of Hill House or The Haunting of Blythe Manor, or Blythe Danner, as it were. I love it. But I mean, first and foremost, it's always been film. Film has always been a huge source of inspiration for me in terms of what I really enjoy, like horror. But lately, I will say television has really kind of come up.
I love anthology.
Yeah.
Not to like butt in, but like that's like my go-to. I like Tales from the Crypt.
Oh,
girl, okay.
Tales of the Crypt.
Okay, quick story. When I was a child, my dad loved Tales from the Crypt.
My dad too.
Was terrified of the Crypt Keeper. I legitimately would run out of the room screaming like it's the bad man. The bad man's on TV. Because he was the bad man. And to this day, I am still terrified of skeletons. Like I don't like them. I don't want to be around them. Skeletons just give me the heebie-jeebies.
I mean, he's scary as fuck.
It's just bones.
What's crazy though, what's crazy is like I was probably like 5 years old watching Tales from the Crypt.
Oh,
yeah.
And I loved it. And there was also this like one Halloween where I wanted to be the Crypt Keeper. So I got this costume.
Stunning.
It was the Crypt Keeper with like, he was like a doctor and it came with a mask. And I remember one time I was watching my brother and he was just annoying the shit out of me. And I was like, well, I'm going to get that Crypt Keeper mask. Put that on. I chased him out of the house.
Yes.
Oh my god, that is amazing. Well, Shannon, now that we have you, what would your favorite media be? Would that be the Tales of the Crypt, or do you have any other things to add?
Probably, just because Tales from the Crypt was like my origin story. I feel like that kind of molded me into loving horror media, you know, and anthologies and all that type of stuff.
Oh yeah, I think because it's an anthology, like it really has that power to show so many different sides of horror, and that's
right.
Like a lot of media, you only get that one thing, but Tales from the Crypt and American Horror Story and stuff like that, like they're continuously horrifying you in different ways, which is really cool.
Shudder is doing that right now as well with Channel Zero, I believe it's called.
Yes.
It's an anthology series and it's fantastic. I could not get enough of that.
Yeah,
I love.
Also Creepshow, the new Creepshow.
Yeah.
Creepshow, yeah.
Also, shout out to those fucking movies though. Creepshow. Oh my god. Iconic.
So good. And those are from George Romero, I think, right? Who did Night of the Living Dead, originated the modern zombie. Boom. Drew, since you're on screen, what sort of stuff do you like?
I mean,
favorite media.
It's hard for me to pick favorites of anything, honestly, but like horror movies, like for sure, like always and will forever have a special place in my heart. it's what like made me fall in love with the genre in the first place, as I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies as a kid. My parents tried to shelter me and protect me. Little did they know.
They tried their best.
They tried their best.
Can't
but
keep a bitch
girl,
down.
It didn't work. But I would sneak out of my room. My dad likes horror movies, so I would sneak out of my room at night and like fucking army crawl down the hallway to the living room and peek around the corner while he was like watching shit that I wasn't allowed to watch. And so like horror movies for me was always like super like fun because I was like not supposed to watch them, but I was like sneaking it, so there was that like sort of like taboo factor.
Oh my gosh,
forbidden fruit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
Yes.
That unattainable like mystery.
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
sorry, dear.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
you go.
No,
ahead.
you.
No, you go ahead. You go.
Oh, thank you.
You're the guest.
So like film is always like gonna have that for me, but like the way I consume horror more than anything now is in books, because I listen to audiobooks like all day every day at work. So horror fiction, like writing, is like my jam right now. Love it.
I love it too. Well,
I should get into that with my work.
You should, girl.
Yeah.
It's so good. There's so much out there.
Yeah.
It must be. It's correct me if I'm wrong, but for a horror enthusiast, like listening to a story and letting it unfold as you're doing something else, as you're just concentrating on something, it's sort of like music, how it like you just fall into it and it washes over you, right?
And I live on stories, like storytelling, or not storytelling, but like absorbing stories is like my lifeblood. It's like I need stories. That's why I play video games. That's why I play D&D. That's why I read books. It's stories. So like I need it. And if I can absorb it like while I'm doing something else, like I'm always taking it in, whether it's like audiobooks or podcasts. Horror podcasts, by the fucking way, have come a long way in the last however long, but they're fantastic.
On that point,
yes.
I know this isn't about me, but I feel like your point there, like listening to a podcast, like you're not listening to like a story being told, but you're listening to people that are talking about things. It's almost like I love to go on Wikipedia or IMDb and just like learn about how films or shows or things like that are produced and like the trivia that comes with it. So I feel like when you're listening to a podcast, you can get that information, and it like makes it more rich. Like you're hearing things that you've never heard before.
Yeah. For sure.
I just love horror. This is like a dream come true, having a horror panel. Like I'm just like
100%.
Fantastic.
Am I sweating?
In the whole world.
Well, people are talking and then like stuff like comes into your mind and you're like, oh yeah, you know, like this.
I love that too.
Like stories, and I was like, oh shit, I totally forgot I had a huge boner for Edgar Allan Poe, like high school. And then like Vander the other day, I was watching Vander Von Odd like doing a live stream, and she mentioned that she would love that would be a challenge on Dracula, like making a story from Edgar Allan Poe into a look. And I was like, literally, I like foamed at the mouth and died. I thought that would be like so flippin' fierce.
You should just do
That
it.
would be amazing.
Yeah.
It should just be a challenge. Let's do it. I'm gonna do a drag.
Just fucking do it.
But
because that is brilliant.
Hollow Eve did do a show called Plague Mask, where she opened the whole show with reading like Edgar Allan Poe all through, and then like just did the Mask of the Red Death and did a whole night. So like, just I think like that's where Vander got that idea concept from. But I think that'd be so flippin' fierce. Like, you know, a runway based on Edgar Allan Poe would be
honestly.
godlike.
Someone's gonna do it right now. You put it out into the world, someone's gonna steal it. You better do it first.
You
gotta do it first.
Mop it.
Well, I feel like we've touched upon this this topic a little bit, how horror impacts our lives and inspires our work or our creativity. Does anyone want to share anything about that? I know all of us, we put out our work, and like whether it's really overtly or it's subtly inspired by horror, like it's a big part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I sculpt horror stuff, you know, monsters, bloody, ugly. I mean, that's what I love. That's what I get inspiration from.
Somebody
So,
share her Twitter. Someone share her Twitter. Like you will literally.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh,
She is prepared.
She made this. She literally made this with her hands.
Yes.
Y'all,
This-
like, if for anyone that doesn't
Love.
know, that's the clown from Dead by Daylight, Shook.
Iconic.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
I play the clown. And so I love anything to do with the clown, and I want that.
Well, girl,
Thank
you can
you.
buy one. They're for sale.
Yes, I do commissions.
Oh,
Do it.
well,
Get in those DMs.
DM, slide in.
Get that late Christmas gift.
I need to get
Ron. You
a.
can still get it.
Shannon is an incredibly talented sculptor.
So
Oh, thank
talented. Literally so talented.
Sculpting is hard, y'all. And she has the attention span and the skill. And y'all,
If you've
Thank you,
ever,
girl.
if you've ever, so I've been watching Shannon for years, and I'm a big fan. I would sit in her streams and just like literally, she made that with her hands. It's like it's awe-inspiring. Like the talent that you possess, Shook.
thank
Speaking of talent, we're gonna go to Drew Talbot, who is a television star.
Another talented sculptor.
A very
Might I
talented
add.
sculptor and television star. So
Yes.
how does horror impact you and change how are you changing lives through horror? With your work, with your
Well, I'm not walking children in nature. But,
You're murdering them.
exactly. I mean, horror is it's sort of a vein in the lifeblood of my life because I work in the makeup effects industry. So while not everything that we work on is horror, like we work on a lot of other stuff, like
Mhm.
you know, science fiction or amusement park stuff. Like horror is always there. And like it's always my favorite thing that comes up whenever like the shop that I'm at, like it's a job and it's like it's a horror movie or there's like a monster in it.
Ooh.
And I'm like, just let me touch it. Like let me make fingernails for that monster and I will be so happy. Like
Well,
whatever I can do.
But you worked on that one movie with like the, oh, gosh, what was it? He was super creepy. I don't know. I'll have to look it up maybe. But I remember you told me that you worked on it. I was like, what?
Which one was it?
He's worked on so many,
I
you know,
know, I
like
know.
he's
It's
busy,
so,
he's
like,
booked and
open-ended.
busy.
I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
But so like, you know, horror is part of my lifeblood, you know. Horror literally sometimes pays my bills. So
Yes.
it's always going to be near and dear to me. Besides what it means to me, like, you know, personally, I don't like to watch movies unless somebody is being murdered in it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that
Honestly feel like I'm
that is
home.
just fair. Like that's
don't hit me with a rom-com unless there's a bloody murder in it.
Yeah.
My Bloody Rom-Com coming to Shutters.
Yes.
starring Bitch Puddin.
Starring bitch
Is
put
that
on
your
Amazon.
That's your Amazon movie, right?
Next
No.
Christmas season, bitch.
Bitch, how does horror affect your work? How do
does
you
it affect my
how
work?
is horror inspiring you and your work?
It definitely has always inspired me of a place of darkness. I feel like, you know, us queer people go through life with stuff being thrown at us and we kind of internalize it and make it into badges of honor. Like, and like, you know, a lot of us are drawn to like, you know, death metal, like Bring Me the Horizon, or, you know, like
Mhm.
Edgar Allan Poe, or, you know, Francis Bacon, where like literally he was a gay guy in you know, London drawing like filleted bodies, and then you find out that he met his lover randomly one night when he got broken into, and you were like, what? And you're like, it's literally like a crazy situation where you're inspired by all these like chaotic things because you're stuck in this chaos. And I think with me, I gravitated always towards horror because it was vibrant. It made me feel alive. It made me feel that I wasn't crazy for going through all the things that I'm going through when I was growing up and trapped inside a body, being told I was wrong, being bullied, and like let alone like, you know, just trying to figure out who the hell I am, getting called gay, and just trying to come up with like a realization of that, you know. And to me, that has definitely, those life experiences, like life imitates art, art imitates life, and those life experiences definitely like transferred over to my drag character. And that's definitely how I ended up on a show like Dragula, where it's filled with those characters, it's filled with those people who personify those things that I just talked about. Like it's just those badges of honor of people who have gone through shit and are just, you know, expressing it through the horror of life. And to me, the most terrifying thing that I ever have seen in my life, it's I grew up, in a military family. I'm very privileged. I've been able to, travel and do all these things. But the first thing that really seriously, I could not sleep for days after I see it was a movie called Hardball. Oh, my light just gave out, but we're still serving it. It's okay, darling.
It's bitch after dark.
Still look good.
There we go. Well, she's gone. It's fine. It's literally a movie about these kids that play baseball, and one kid gets shot because they live, not in a good neighborhood. And I literally didn't realize that's like a part of the world, and that could be something that's true. I didn't realize that could be something, someone has to go through. And it was like those real life instances where life fucking checks you and makes you see the world is not what you thought it was and expands your mind. Those true horrifying things is what I find what true horror is, in my opinion. It's those experiences you grew up, like, being queer and experiencing those, but also it's those things that can shock you and realize, oh, the life is not what I thought it was. It's not black and white. There's definitely a lot more color in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
sure.
Sometimes the scariest stuff is just
Real
real
action.
life, like seeing
Yeah.
reality right in front of you.
Well, and I
Yeah.
think also that's why like a lot of people love horror because it's kind of an escape of
Mhm.
some
Right.
kind,
It's sort of like a fantasy of fictional stuff happening.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I've always felt like an affinity towards horror too, like partially because like even before I knew like that I was queer, like it's this outsider feeling. Like horror is always treated as sort of this like outsider child of film, and like it's not like there's never been a horror movie like nominated for an Academy Award. Like that's probably not true, but
Silence of the Lambs was the last horror movie to win, and I
Would you
think one of the few
consider-
to be nominated.
Well, would you consider Black Swan horror or suspense or thriller? 'Cause
Thriller for sure.
For sure.
Because Natalie
Yeah.
Portman was
Yeah.
nominated and
Yeah.
she won. Yeah.
oh
But-
really?
but-
Okay,
Yeah.
To your
Well,
point, it's rare. To your
Yeah.
point,
Right.
it is
Right.
it
That's what
is
I'm
rare.
saying.
It's
It's
far
like-
few and far between.
it's like an outsider, and like queer people are often treated like outsiders,
Yeah.
and like we always are sort of relegated to this like outsider position in culture and society, which we like sometimes revel in and b sometimes loathe,
Mhm.
like it's this like duality, and like I think that I resonate with horror because it has that same sort of like relationship with the world. It's like sometimes horror is applauded because people are like, oh yes, this is an amazing film that features horror and horror like elements, and it's like,
Mhm.
oh yes ma'am. But then like sometimes it's at the bottom of the garbage pail.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it resonates with me because honestly I feel like queer people are treated that way as well. Like it's sometimes we're applauded, like when we're put on Bravo television shows.
Yeah.
But then whenever it comes to the nitty gritty, people want to throw us in the background where they don't have to pay attention.
Yeah, to your point, it's provocative, and so are queer people, and it's sort of like a convenience thing. It's like we're recognized when we're clowns and we're fun and like we're like the entertainment, and then sometimes it's the opposite. And
Yeah.
to your point, horror is like that provocative medium where like some people love it because they like understand it, and other people just think, oh, it's gross, it's gratuitous, like it's too much.
Right.
Right.
Ida, I would love to know how horror influences your work. And I gotta say, when I see clips of you jumping and screaming, like those are just like, you're already entertaining just in your own right, but like when you play a scary game, bitch, I am living.
Well, I'll be honest. Like, horror for me is more of an escape, and it's more of just a means of entertainment. I don't incorporate a lot of horror or thriller aspects into my art, my drag. It's really not my clearly. I mean, I love sparkles, and I have a glitter lip, for God's sakes. But
Mhm. She
but-
always does, by the way.
always. But whenever I'm sitting on the couch with just work and we're trying to figure out something to watch for that night, the first thing that I go to is always, okay, well, what is streaming in thriller? What is streaming in horror? It's always just an escape for me, and I don't know necessarily if that's necessarily healthy from like a personal perspective, but
It's healthy
there's-
for us here.
Yeah.
but there is
Preaching to the
something
choir.
very comforting. There's something very comforting about and I know this is going to sound terrible, but for as awful of a day as I might have had, or an awful a year as I might have had, or any type of shitty experience that I've had with a homophobic asshole, I can watch a horror film and see someone on screen that is having a worse day than I am.
Yeah.
And
that is
100%.
so true.
but it's honestly, that's how I feel. Because I can walk away from a horror film or a horror anthology or horror of a TV show, whatever, and I can feel better about myself.
Yeah.
And when I go to sleep at night, and this is a true story, I pop in my headphones and I listen to horror podcasts or like paranormal podcasts
Yeah.
about like possessions and like black magic gone wrong, and I sleep like a baby.
Yeah.
Like it. So again, it doesn't have anything to do with like my drag or my art, but it does kind of find its way to kind of wiggle in these little aspects of my life where I'm just trying to relax.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to like on that note, like as queer people, sometimes like we are going through shit and we just want to see someone else going through some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's a little bit cathartic sometimes to be like, okay, I had a terrible day, but like let's watch like monsters eat some people, because like it can be soothing to just like it's sort of like you're letting it go.
Mm-hmm.
Someone yelled at me, but I'm not getting chased in a forest.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. It's
Drew
kinda cathartic.
is though. Let's take a look at Drew's background. Well,
No, it's kind of cathartic sometimes to watch cis het people just be beat the fuck down.
absolutely.
I'm not a proponent of violence. Like, I'm a pacifist and I love everybody.
Sure.
But like, honestly, like, it's sometimes it's fun to watch cis het people fail, which they do inevitably in a lot of horror films, but not in any other genre of film. In every other genre,
they're always
of film,
very successful.
Exactly. We watch cis het people be super successful, succeed, achieve their end goal at the end of the movie, and it's like, oh yes, good
even
for
when
them.
it makes no sense at all, bitch. When it makes no sense to the plot, it's just suddenly they're in a stadium. Suddenly they're in a stadium and the girl gets proposed to.
Right.
And then randomly the gay dies of cancer.
Yeah. Oh my god, too real.
Oh my god.
Well,
Shannon, what was that movie we were talking about the other night?
On that note,
God.
Shannon, we're giving you a zoom in.
It was Nobody Sleeps in the Woods Tonight or something like
Yes.
that. It's on Netflix. It's horrible.
Delightful. It's horribly delightful. There's a queer character. There's one queer character in the film, and he has this moment that's like, it comes right after he is like pouring his heart out to this girl, and he's like coming out to her, and he's like being open and like and real.
And it's a whole scene.
It's a whole scene. And in the very next scene, he has like a triumphant, like, we thought he was dead, but oh my god, he's alive. Immediately murdered.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Great.
And it's like,
fantastic.
Of course.
What just fucking happened?
Yeah.
Like, guys.
That whole movie is like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, what is
truly.
this?
You didn't watch it, it happened to you. That's an expression I like to fall on when I don't know what's happening. It's happening to me. Speaking of films, I would like to touch upon so for me, horror is empowering. It's both empowering to the queer community. We've been talking about that. I feel like it's empowering to women, and because like in so many movies the protagonist is a cis man, usually white, but in horror films it's almost it's a trope. It's like Scream Queens, which is what the team is actually named after. It's that the women take charge and win at the end. So can we shed some light on that kind of subject? We can start with Shannon.
I mean, I know, like, for me, I suffer with like anxiety and stuff like that, and a lot of like horror is women that overcome these obstacles. You know, it's like, it's not what happens to you, it's how you handle it, you know? And I feel like that's resonated throughout, you know, Alien, Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, you just keep going. I mean, it's Halloween, you know, Laurie Strode with the latest Halloween. I mean, she came out and she's she's a badass woman.
She keeps doing it. If you watch that first movie, she is crying at the end, and she is not crying in the new one. She is not crying at the end of that
She's
one.
over it.
Mm-hmm. Nothing worse than, like, what is the expression? Nothing worse than a woman scorned, right? That's a phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Yeah.
I had the dumbed down version.
Yeah, we got it.
Anyone else want to shed some light on women that we love in horror? Or okay,
yes,
Ida, yes.
Okay, so I mean, I think the final girl is just such a wonderful trope in horror films or horror whatever, because the character goes through an incredible journey. And there is a transformation of the character. You know, at the beginning of whatever project or whatever story it is, the character is traditionally feminine, like or what society accepts as what is feminine. So she's maybe a little demure, maybe she's a little soft-spoken, she's not super assuming.
Yeah.
As the story progresses, she has to go through this evolution and take on more masculine qualities. She has to take on things like bravery, fearlessness, recklessness in some cases, and carelessness. All of these things she has to adopt as a character in order to survive until the very end. So what we see when we talk about any type of final girl trope, we see this real evolution of a character from a character that is perceived feminine to something that is perceived masculine. Now, from a queer perspective, yes, absolutely fantastic. We love it. We love seeing, you know, a girl being the champion at the end. I do think that we do have to call into question what exactly that means and the value that we place as audience members on masculine characteristics and feminine characteristics. It gives this idea that masculine characteristics are inherently better and they're going to make you survive somehow. We saw that primarily in the Nightmare on Elm Street series, particularly with Nightmare on Elm Street 2, because that was where Nightmare on Elm Street 2,
the gay one,
where Jesse was the protagonist, it flopped. It flopped at box offices. It did not do well, but the queer community really like held on to it and really lifted it up, because there was this character, this man, who kind of went through that same journey that a last chick or a final girl would. From
like starts meek and then...
Well, yeah, starts meek, starts feminine, and then gets a little bit stronger. It's harder for mainstream audiences to accept because a mainstream audience assumes that the man is going to have all of these masculine traits inherently. Yeah. So it's harder for them to accept that this character might be a little bit weaker, that has to grow strong. It doesn't necessarily read as well, and I think that's one of the reasons why it doesn't translate as well. But for us as queer people, we're like, yes, we get it.
It speaks to us.
Right.
Yeah, that's the inner homosexuality demon coming out of us when we didn't realize we were gay and people were telling us we were gay. Like, it's exactly like that whole trope, and that movie is so damn good.
It's fantastic.
So
it is.
It's so good.
Yeah, and the coach play, and then like he just like there's just a lot in there, girl. Like he wakes up and he fixes himself. That is the most realistic acting, Oscar-winning, award-winning performance I've ever seen on film ever. I was like, this is real. This is a real moment. But yeah, in terms of women, like, it's like why I do drag. I do drag because I love women. I do what I do because I like. They inspired me to be who I am. They inspired me that they're powerful and like more badass than a man could ever be.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the power to give birth. Like, what more powerful thing can you do? Like, literally, like you can give life. You know what I mean? Like, you give life in your performances and just like in general. But literally, I don't know. Like, the final girl is like everything. I mean, she's like. Regardless if she's like physically like, you know, voluptuous, she's always gorgeous because like it's just like about her power and her coming through and just like her energy and it's the confidence, and it's just, you know, saying like, you know, I might be, you know, as a young queer male watching it, I was like, oh my god, I'm feminine, but like this is powerful, you know. It's like I'm seeing, you know, this girl embrace her femininity and kick these dudes' asses. And a lot of the dudes' asses that died within the first 2 minutes because they were trying to get, you know, their peen sucked on or whatever the hell they were doing, trying to get, you know, it gets like virginity, losing your virginity is bad, they'll die.
Yeah.
You know, like that was the trope. But it just was super rad because a lot of those guys looked like the bullies I was dealing with. And I was like, this girl got through, I don't know, Nightmare on Elm Street, or, you know, Jessica or Jennifer Lopez got to the end of Anaconda, okay?
Yes.
And she lived. You know
She
what I
made
mean?
it happen.
Work. I can do it too. All right?
Yes.
Shit.
I feel
Jeepers Creepers, all of that.
absolutely. I feel like that's a
Oh,
really
she
good
did,
point.
yeah.
That's a really good point that you have. It's like those feminine characters, they get the strength to overcome, but they're still themselves at the end. I feel like that's interesting because we as little kids, queer people, are told, like, you know, fit the box that we're putting on you. And these women can be in one box and then flip it. I want to say thank you, Dr. Ida Salad, for that that analysis on
Soon to be
horror
Dr. Ida
films.
Salad, by the
Oh,
way.
Yes.
stop.
Thank you for your thesis.
That was
I
amazing.
lived.
I want
It
the
was amazing.
I want the full 10 pages.
Truly.
10 pages. You want me to edit it?
You're asking for too much.
20 pages.
I told you, bitch, publish it. Just publish it.
Better. I want to hear more. Well, Drew, I have you up on screen. Would you like to add anything to the conversation about Final Girls? Do they inspire you? How do you feel about them?
I mean, I love my Final Girls. I have a dualistic relationship with horror and with female empowerment, because I feel like it's a 50-50 relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Horror takes in equal parts this like opportunity to like spotlight and empower women. And I say this as somebody who doesn't identify as female, so I can't really speak to it honestly, but they take this opportunity to like spotlight and empower women, but at the same time, horror constantly uses women as a stepping stone to create horror, to create drama, to create to create evil. And it's kind of sad and awful to watch sometimes, which to me feels like low hanging fruit of horror when we resort to things like, you know, sexual violence and stuff like that. Like,
right.
It's done.
So
Find something
easy.
new. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes, it's so expected.
So
and
easy.
And it's gross. Yeah.
It's predictable.
And if you do it, then like do it in a unique way. Like rework it. Like that wheel's been fucking beaten.
It's exhausted, and honestly, we're not here for it anymore.
No.
Well, it's sort of like there's that 70s movie I Spit on Your Grave where the woman triumphs in the end. She triumphs and she's the baddest bitch in the world, but she got there because the beginning part of the movie is just gratuitous and gross and horrible, and like it has one, and just trigger warning, like I won't go into detail, but it's just like this woman is put through it, and they show it to you on screen, not in real life. It's not a snuff film, but it's horrible to watch.
I watched it once, and that's enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Which movie?
It's called I Spit on Your Grave from...
Oh, I thought you were talking about Martyrs, and I was like, oh god, Vander made me watch that.
Girl, that one is a nightmare.
That is a carry. That is a carry, and I'll just...
You just have to commit.
We were halfway through it, and I was like, this is the feel-good movie of the year.
I haven't seen that one. What is it called?
Martyrs.
Okay.
It's French.
Don't watch the American version. The American version is shit. You have to watch the French version.
Yeah.
And it is a ride. And I say, if you are a fan of horror, it is worth the watch.
Also, if you're at all sensitive to, just fucking don't.
Yeah.
But if you are a horror, if you could watch the first episode of Dragula season 2 where we got pierced, I think you could handle Martyrs. I'm just gonna say that. But if you can't, check out something else.
Well, now I have a morbid curiosity.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I think I might have seen it like on a random day where I was hungover in college. Like, I think I actually might have seen it, but I don't remember.
Yeah, it's the best movie to wake up when you got that hangover, sis, and you got that bacon egg cheese sandwich trying to get.
Oh goodness.
I found it on a fucking like horror listicle online once, and I was like, oh, clearly I have to watch this, because it was like top 10 most impactful
movie. Yeah.
Like scary or terrifying or impactful, like weird films you have to watch this. And I was like, well, all right then. And I found it.
Say no more.
Sold. I'm in.
But to go back to Spit on Your Grave for a sec,
Sure.
like, it's this weird duality once again where it's like you have empowerment and complete and total manipulation and control.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we always, it feels like throughout the history of horror, there's been this relationship with women in this film genre, which I don't love, but it does create this sort of like a playing field where women can shine and grow. And like when it's done properly, women can be the utmost and like the pinnacle of everything that everybody in this horror movie needs to be
Mhm.
in order to survive this ordeal. And like I love that, like at the same time. So it's this weird dualistic like relationship, you know?
Absolutely. That's a completely fair criticism. It's like, why can't the woman just be powerful on her own? Why does she have to be dragged
the
through the
beginning.
mud?
Right.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
Because my next question is, who is our favorite final girl? But I will say, starting with that note, my favorite final girl is Ripley from Alien, because she starts off the strongest bitch and she ends up the strongest bitch. Like, she doesn't have to go through that transformation of she's meek, she's soft, like she has to be hardened by the killer. No, she started off the movie saying, "You are not putting that alien over here," and then the robot guy comes and hits the button. So like, she's already a bitch that knows her
Literally,
shit.
that's the synopsis for the movie. Did you just read it off of Netflix?
I've never seen it. I just read it, and it sounded
what's
cool.
What's interesting about that film is that it takes place how many years in the future?
Mm-hmm.
A million or whatever.
Thousands,
so, I mean,
thousands of thousands.
So does that give us this idea, or does that put into perspective that women will not be that strong until that time? Because all of the horror movies that take place in current day, like present day, you know, don't have that level of strength. And I mean, I think that's something to at least, you know, meditate on for a little bit.
That's definitely
Dr.
super
Eat a
interesting.
Salad, everybody. Dr. Eat a Salad.
Yes, eat a salad. Yes.
While we have you, who would your favorite film, like final girl, like triumphant woman be?
Gosh, I don't know that I have one. I really like the girl from Midsummer.
Oh my god, yes.
Ooh, yes.
But I don't remember her name. But I think that there is something very powerful about her. I mean, she's kind of thrown into this brand new world, this new community. She has no idea where she is. I'm not gonna like spoil it as much as I possibly can, but at the end, like, she makes the decision. Like she makes the final decision of what she wants to do.
Yeah.
And there is something very like poetic justice, maybe.
Yeah.
About it, and I really responded positively to that. I mean, the movie itself is just a fantastic masterclass in slow burn, and slow burn is my absolute favorite type of film.
Artfully done.
It's so perfect. But I think she is probably the one that I would go to. But I would also like neck and neck is the girl from The Witch. Also, don't know her name.
Oh my god, I love The Witch.
Anya.
Oh my
Anya,
god.
there you go.
Yes.
But also, like, again, slow burn masterclass. But she also makes the final decision.
Stunning.
And I think that aspect of a character of I am going to choose for myself, I love that.
Yes.
Yeah. And on that note, Ready or Not, she makes Samara Weaving. She makes the final choice. You know, she marries into the family. You know.
Yes,
that's the one with the bridal girl, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one. I want to.
And she makes the final decision. She's a badass.
Good for
Right.
her. Yes. Drew.
Truly.
Drew, how do you feel?
I mean, you stole my answer. It's Ripley. It's always Ripley. Ripley, always and forever.
She is that bitch. Mm-hmm.
She is always that bitch. Don't fuck with Ripley forever and for always.
Even when she's a clone, don't fuck with her. She is
Honestly.
that bitch.
But, like, I have to give a shout out to the final girl in Cabin in the Woods.
Oh my god, so good.
I don't remember her character's name, which is sad and terrible. I think it's Dana. It might be Dana.
I don't recall her name either, but oh my god, stunning.
But she is incredible throughout the whole movie. She sees it fucking coming. She's smarter than everybody else, and she's like, "Wait the fuck! a second. Like,
Yeah, she
What
picked
the-
up on all of it.
what the hell is happening in here on this day?
Yes.
It's like,
Mhm.
no, ma'am. And she's like, it's a simulation, and she picks up on it, and
Yeah.
she is cognizant. She's powerful, and
Mhm.
she's strong, and she ultimately makes her own decisions like throughout the whole film, and she is incredible.
Yes.
So I love her as a fun girl.
Little tidbit on Cabin in the Woods. If anyone is a fan of horror and you haven't seen that one, I hadn't seen it until this year at
Oh my
Halloween.
god!
Really?
And oh my god,
Oh
it
my
is
God.
the love letter to every horror fan. I was
Yep.
like, every scene, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god. It's just an homage
There's
to
a
every horror
freaking
movie.
merman.
No,
That
Stop
Shannon
it.
sculpted, by the way.
shut up. It
Merman.
is-
It's cold.
Wait, did you sculpt that for real?
She
No.
did.
Shut
And
up!
it looks exactly
Well,
like the
My
film.
earring.
Well, hold on. I didn't sculpt the merman in the movie.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, no, she didn't design it. She
not that
she
ex-
recreated it. But if anyone needs any mermen for your films, I'm sure Shannon would like a
Shannon is the
professional
one.
email.
She's available.
Shannon is the one.
Yes.
I'm just
but-
saying that if for anybody who claims to love horror,
I
if
haven't seen
you
it.
don't think you haven't seen it,
No,
Wait.
I'm saying if you check it out.
oh
Yes,
god,
yes.
I was about to throw up blood until I was dead. Um,
Come on.
But like,
Fight.
if you love horror, like you have to claim that Cabin in the Woods is one of the best horror movies made in the last 10 years.
It really
Like,
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
100%.
have to, or else get out, leave,
Mhm.
get out of my house,
Just
Well,
go. Just done. Go.
yeah.
You're done.
get out.
Mm-hmm. Bitch, what kind of final girls do resonate with you, would you say?
I love everybody's choices so far, but I'm gonna take it to like a little Newville and maybe some movies that you guys haven't seen. One of my favorite final girls ever is Erin from You're Next. If you guys have not seen the movie,
Yes!
It
Yeah.
is a really great twist on a horror film, and it puts like the ingenue, and it's like, psych. Well, I'm not gonna spoil it if you guys not checked it out, but Homegirl is not to be fucked with.
Do not
Okay,
fuck
like,
with a bitch.
They picked the wrong girl to bring to a family reunion
Yep.
in a wood cabin. Okay, keep it in the cabin vibe. Also, another great movie that came out last year, Satanic Panic. If you guys haven't seen it, I highly
Yes.
recommend it. It stars a girl, Sam, who is a pizza delivery driver who stumbles upon a satanic cult looking for a virgin to sacrifice, and she just so
Oh.
happens to be a virgin.
Well.
So that's how the movie
Wait, what was
starts
the name of
out,
the
and I'll
film?
let you guys go from that. Huh?
What was the name of the film?
Satanic Panic.
That sounds fantastic. That's a great
It
premise.
stars Rebecca Romaine. It's like her husband. It's really great.
Stunning.
It's iconic. It has practical effects in it, and the practical effects are really, really good. My good friend Gina Hughes from SCAD, who I didn't know I was at the premiere, and I like see Gina pop on the screen. I'm like, that girl's my acting for the camera class. What? Like, I was like, I see you hustling. Okay. And that was cool. I really love that. And then, you know, since I said video games earlier, if you guys have not played Parasite Eve, Danielle
Oh,
from
yes.
Parasite Eve is
Mhm.
an iconic woman in gaming. And where is the reboot, Square Enix? I know y'all take 20 years, so get started.
Yeah, where's she at? Ugh,
Yeah. Where is her? Where is her today?
who knows? I want to ask. So we're all very passionate about horror. We watch horror, we read horror, we experience horror. Bitch is in movies. Drew is doing the makeup for movies. Do we, since a lot of our art and our passions lie in horror, do any of you get scared?
Yes.
Yes. Oh,
What,
yes.
what's
wish
the
I could.
scariest? What, that's how I feel, Drew. So I'm like, I won't even appear in this portion at all. I don't get scared. So we're skipping over Drew. Shannon said immediately yes. What scared you? Can you paint us a scene of something that really
Yes.
impacted you?
So this is also going back to like when I was probably like 6, too young to be watching horror, mind you.
Mhm.
But it was St. Patrick's Day, and I was staying with my aunt, and we were going through the channels, and Leprechaun was on. I didn't know what it was at the time.
Someone in the chat earlier thought I was going to say Jennifer Anderson in Leprechaun instead of Jennifer
Oh my
Jennifer
God.
Lopez, which I thought was hilarious.
Oh my god.
And so I convinced my aunt. I was like, I want to watch that. And she's like, Shannon, I don't think your parents would like you watching that. And I said, no, I watch it all the time. Probably because I was watching Tales from the Crypt, right?
Yeah.
And so she let me watch it. And I was petrified. For probably a good couple years, I was terrified from like 6 to 8 of the leprechaun. I did not want to sleep in my room. My mom was like, Shannon, why don't you want to sleep in your room? The leprechaun's gonna get me.
Oh, poor little baby Shannon.
This
Yeah.
is my favorite story about Shannon ever, by the way.
You're gonna repeat it to everyone you know.
Oh, I at any time it comes up, I'm happy to talk about it because it's so funny. You watch Leprechaun now and it's like
It is a B movie. It is
what?
It's a C movie, bitch.
It's D-list.
But for my little 6-year-old eyes, that was like, oh my god.
It went hard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
completely agree.
Bitch, what about you? What has scared you before?
What really terrified me, I brought up Metal Gear, that scene really terrified me. But another movie that really got me, gal, in my life. I'm not really scared now. Literally, I would go through a haunted house and like laugh at people. Like, it's really hard to really get it. I'm like, I want Dracula. What's good? Like, what's next? Come on. Like, come on. I've been through all shit. Like, let's go. But no, the movie that really, really got me was The Ring when it came out.
Mhm.
Yes.
The trailer, the tape, the whole rich. I love ritual shit, right? Like,
Yes.
if you do
Yeah.
something, then something's gonna happen, right? And it really fucked with us because me and my brother were terrified of when the trailer came on and we were scared. And we finally rented the damn thing, we watched it. And we're like, okay, 7 days, right? And then we're like, yeah, sure, huh? And then like on day 4, we went out to Outback Steakhouse and we got a plate of cheese fries.
Every time
And
I
on
talk
top
to you,
of
you
the
bring up
fries
Outback.
Was the number fucking 4. There were fries in the shape of the 4. And me and my brother
Bitch.
lost our shit.
The Blair
You're
Witch
more likely
was
to
there.
be murdered by fucking chili cheese fries than a fucking Japanese ghost.
I'm just saying, the bitch had really sickening hair.
Samara was somewhere in. She was the
came
fry
out.
cook
But
that
you know
day.
what? You know what's so brilliant is that was terrifying up until, Scary Movie 3 came
Yeah.
out and Brenda beat that bitch's ass. And that
Yeah.
shit was
Cindy.
fucking
Yep.
hilarious. It turned the most
leaking.
terrifying thing into the most hilarious thing. And
Into
I
a
just
joke.
love that whole dichotomy of horror where it's super terrifying until you make it camp and then it's flipping it on its head.
Absolutely.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
That actually, sorry, I don't
No,
want to
go
keep
ahead.
interrupting. But that made
Leprechaun
me
2.
think
The Leprechaun 2.
that made me think of when I watched The Ring and I was still young and I was the only one in my house. My dad was sleeping and it got to the end of the movie where the screen goes all staticky
hmm
and I dipped. I was like, I'm out this house. Peace, Dad. Sorry, rip, whatever. I'm out of here.
She's like, no ma'am, bye.
Yeah.
Where'd you go? The corner store? Or you just sat outside until the next day?
My mind wasn't going that fast. I was like, I just got to get out of here.
Just
I
gotta
don't
go.
want-
You just gotta go.
Before the
You need to
monster
grab a
gets
bag
you.
of goldfish. She just walked
Yeah.
out the house
Mhm.
without shoes on. She said, fuck this shit. I'm
Boom.
out. I'm here.
Honestly,
Sacrifice my dad, whatever.
that movie scared the shit out of me too, and that was before my jaded period where it was I can't be scared by horror anymore because I've consumed too much.
Right.
Yeah.
But that movie scared the shit out of me, and honestly, my story for that goes way the fuck back to Blair Witch Project.
Oh, yes. I love.
Bitch, Blair Witch Project was the first of its fucking kind, and it was
Mhm.
before we
Oh,
were
yeah.
desensitized to this whole found footage.
It was the tits when that
It's a
came out.
true story, not true story. I went to the movie
internet.
theater. Exactly.
know.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Google.
It was before Reddit.
Yeah.
It was
I
before
went to the
anyone
movie
could tell you,
theater.
oh, that's fake. You just have to believe.
Exactly.
If
Yeah.
a movie says it's real, then it was real.
Bitch, I fucking believed it. I went to the movie theater with my older sisters, and they were like, "We're gonna go see this movie. It's supposed to be really cool and really good." I'm like, "Yeah, it's horror and it's kind of cool." And you can't tell my parents we're gonna go see it, so I'm super into it.
Mhm.
And so we watched that fucking movie, and I came out fucking petrified. I was certain that I was going to be abducted and murdered by a witch at some point in the very near future.
It could still happen.
Camping was off the table.
Fingers crossed. I mean, fingers crossed.
It just takes you back to World of Worlds when that like first debuted as a radio broadcast.
Oh,
Exactly.
Love that.
They thought it was happening. There was no warning, and people were literally like shooting people on the streets, being like, "We're gonna fucking go.
Exactly.
I gotta kill
The
them.
aliens are
Cut
coming.
my lawn wrong. I'm gonna kill them. I don't give a fuck. The Martians are here. We're gonna die."
That
Like
whole
people,
genre.
literally did shit like that. I'm not
Oh,
even
yeah.
joking.
Right.
They
No.
thought it was over
Yeah.
because it was like it was a new
Subgenre
thing that we had
of-
not been, desensitized
Yeah.
to. It was like something that
Right.
literally
Had never
like,
been done.
got everybody by the gullet.
Mm-hmm.
It
Ada,
got
what-
me for sure.
So Blair Witch. Okay.
Ada, what were you gonna say?
Yes, Ida.
Oh,
Tell
I
us
was
what
saying, well,
scared you.
What scared me was because I don't get super scared by films so much. I get uneasy, and I
Yeah.
love that feeling. And that's why I love slow burn. I
Yeah.
love the feeling
Sure.
of just kind of being on the edge of my seat. But the one, excuse me, the one that got me was one that recently came out. Well, it was a couple years ago, but it was Sinister.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
don't know why, but that
He was creepy.
That
Yeah.
film just I was in the theater, I was watching it with Just Work, and I was physically getting like a reaction to it. And
Mhm.
at one point, like they were cause, they show the sort of home movies in the
Yeah.
film, and I was watching one of them, and it kind of had this sepia tone to it, very 1970s. And I remember I physically felt myself not be able to watch it because I was so terrified, and I was like looking down in my buttered popcorn. And Just Work is like ribbing me, and he's like, "Watch the movie," and I'm like, "No." And that is the movie that really did it for me.
I can tell you something that will make you feel better.
Yeah.
Insider information.
Ooh, intel.
You did the makeup. You played the monster.
No, but I
The last
In
one.
all of these movies.
I have worked for the studio that did the makeup effects for that movie.
Oh.
And I will tell you that monster's makeup was a plastic mask that was worn like this that you can buy at Walgreens that was painted. It was like, it's a vacuum form mask,
Love
right?
it.
And it was just like worn like this, and it was like a big mouth and a big eyes, and it was a spooky. And it, outside of a film context, looks like the silliest shit you've ever seen in your life.
It's the
But
movie
So-
magic.
She's terrifying.
I will tell you, like, if I can do anything to take that fear away from you, it is a silly.
I mean, I would love to watch it again, like, now that it's been a few years and I've already seen it once. I would like to watch it again and kind of go into it a second time being a little bit braver. But I don't know, maybe I just suspended my disbelief a little bit too much.
Absolutely.
Like while I was watching it, because most of the time I can step back and, thankfully, within this last year, we've all been at home. And so I've been able to, if I need a break from whatever it is that I'm watching, or if I need to like refill my beverage, I just hit that little pause button. And it's real easy to just, take a 30-second breather. But for some reason on that film, I was I was in the theater and I was physically not okay.
It's
Yeah.
honestly the content of that film, and like, look, the content of that film is terrifying. Like,
Yeah.
it's a demon that eats children. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, like, what the fuck are we doing?
Delicioso.
It's terrifying.
Bitch is like,
Well, it
yeah.
reminds me of what was the damn HBO series is based on the Stephen King movie that just came. Anyway, the HBO thing. What is it called? I forget what it's called. But I had a similar
Christine.
movie watch. What is it called?
I said Christine. That's the one about the car.
Yeah, it is Christine.
That's a demon car. Bitch.
I had a literal the Okuko. That's the name of it. I forget.
Oh,
Damn, it wasn't HBO. It was really good. It was
outsider.
Outsider. Yes. I had a similar
out to
movie
Outsider.
watching experience where the movie, like, when you were saying like they were nudging you. So, fun fact: we all broke our shit when we were supposed to be, staying where we were filming for Dragula. We were supposed to stay together, but of course, it came out when we were staying, and we were like, we're a bunch of
Well-
horror girls. Bitch, we're gonna go see it. And we were all supposed to I was like, okay, girls, like, let's be chill. Erica goes to the movie theater wearing her fucking merch. Everyone looks like they're like stars of Dragula, like almost full drag makeup on, like because we've all been in the house for too long and we just like snuck out. So we're watching this movie and I ate an edible and smoked a fuck ton of weed before seeing this. And the credits start to roll and all I hear is Victoria go, "This is gonna be," like she was like being maniacally fucking crazy. I was too high to watch that movie and Abora kept talking in my ear the entire time.
Whispering.
I'm dying. I love
more
this story.
terrifying than ever. I was like, oh my god. I was like, I am too high for this. But I also could not let these bitches see me sweat because they saw me like they were coming after. It was like a psychological fuck, and it was super fun. But anyway, that reminded me of that moment with that.
I love that.
Bitch, I have so many questions. I'm gonna slide into your DMs later.
You better.
We'll talk about this later.
You better. All of y'all reminded me. I'm desensitized now, so I lied earlier. When I was a child, so as soon as Shannon was like, when I was 6, I'm like, oh yeah, I was scared of Alien. I was scared of Puppet Master. I was scared of like Halloween. I was scared of. I was like, I forgot how old I was, but I was scared of Titanic when it came out. I was like, I'm gonna be on a ship. It's like I would have to sleep in my parents' room. I would sleep on the floor of my parents' room. I remember I also begged my parents, rent me Jaws, rent me Jaws, rent me Jaws, and then literally the credits start playing and it shows like water, and I was like, I can't watch it. Like, but my brother and my dad would rent and buy like VHSs and play all scary movies. So like it came to a point where I had seen so many that like, okay, I can take it now. And now nothing affects me except Hostel when they cut the Achilles tendon. When it's like too gross.
So were you triggered at Finding Nemo when the water started showing up?
I was like, Jaws is coming. We only have a few moments left. I do have one final question for all of our beautiful panelists. So, and I'm gonna go down the line. I'm gonna start with you, bitch. So you better be ready.
Oh God, shit. Can we do reverse? You got me every time. I got to in my head. I'm like, damn. Okay.
We'll start with Shannon. Okay. So if this was Final Girls, the panel, the movie, would you be the first one gotten? Would you be gotten in the middle, or would you be gotten at the end? And we're not gonna decide what the order is. You just say.
Yeah, it's just for fun.
Yeah.
I think I would either be gotten first because like I'm a dumbass, or I would make it to the end because like I would have some type of final girl story. Mm-hmm. You know?
You'd have that transformation. Although I don't think that you are, meek or not strong. So I could see you making it.
Well, you know what? Fake it till you make it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Drew, final girl or not?
Absolutely not. I'm a cisgendered queer white guy, so there's no chance that I would make it to the end of the movie. Mm-hmm. I would die in the middle in some fucking unspectacular way.
You'd have the throwaway death. You'd have
woods, though.
Oh my god,
the
true.
Gay stoner made it to the end of the Cabin in the Woods, though, right?
True. Yeah.
I mean,
gay, right?
Also in Scream 4, the gay guy, he died, but he died like towards the end.
It's 2020. I'm just saying there's hope. Okay.
Is this what you're trying to feed me as fucking representation? Because I'm not buying it.
Hey, if we all stick together, I think we might make it out of this. Okay.
We can win the escape room, guys. Come on.
I'm gonna take a mediocre death in the middle of the film, and that's what I deserve.
Drew is gonna die off screen. Anyway, moving on. Ida.
So here's the thing. So I would not be last chick. I think
Dr. Ida Salad.
Dr.
Everyone.
No, I don't think that I would be last chick. I don't think I would be final girl because I am stubborn and I don't have like the means of transformation that I think most final girls have. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that I would be the first one killed, and let me tell you why. Because so here's the thing. You know how a lot of people have certain rules that they have for themselves or they set for themselves? Like some people don't drink, some people don't smoke. Well, my rule is that I don't run. So if a killer is chasing me, I'm probably gonna be one of the first ones gone. But my other rule is total self-preservation. So if one of you is near me, I will throw you.
Sell her out.
Okay, so
I-
stay the fuck away from you.
I will throw you.
Do
in
not
order
trust
so
Ida
I can
Salad.
get in order so I can get away and maybe be the second one killed. But by that time, I'd like to think that I am pretty good at hiding. I mean,
You're
hello,
looking
Texas,
sus, sis.
Texas State hide and seek champion.
Mhm.
2000.
No,
Oh,
bitch.
shit.
What
So-
you're saying
Come
is that
on.
Ida Salad is toxic at all costs.
All of them,
Get away from
100%
me.
of the
She's
time.
a sniper in a horror movie situation.
Yeah.
So like, she
Well-
sucks at close range battle, but she'll throw a bitch.
So
you
so
know?
so let me get this straight, Ida. So you don't run, but you will trip someone.
And
Yes.
throw them.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
cool.
if I'm being
Awesome.
chased, yes. Absolutely. Not just like not every day. Like I'm not gonna be walking down the sidewalk and see you come out of a Starbucks and push you so your caramel macchiato falls. Like I'm not gonna do that. But if we're in a killer situation and we are running through the woods for some reason, yes, I will push you.
When there's a
Really
little pressure,
specific-
do not pressure
You're
Ida
out of your
Salad.
mind. You're out
You
of
were
your
too
mind.
specific for me to think that
Too
never
specific.
happened. You said caramel macchiato like you did that to a girl named Jessica before.
Did.
Like,
She fucking did last weekend.
She's
oh
got
my
experience.
God.
Okay, so bitch, I believe that I have seen you die on camera before. Correct
I
me if I'm
have
wrong,
died on camera.
but where would it lie on the timeline, or was that a false that a false premise?
I'm still stuck on the fact this bitch would throw you.
Girl, you better be running in front of
I'm
Ida
also stuck on
Salad.
the fact of the visual of just imagining like a horror movie where you have one character who's committed to not running and it plays epic music and she's just brisk walking. Like I just like that shit stuck in my head. I think it's hilarious. Anyway, so for me, would I be a final girl? I would say yes. I would make it to the end and be fierce, or alternative universe, whatever. I am the first one to die, and I die iconically, and then I come back in the sequel as the killer.
Oh shit.
Yes, I
Okay.
love that.
But I do think like I'm a final like.
You've got the final girl
I
attitude.
will not
Yeah.
like. I have a mentality of like, if there's a deadline, I always think there's like, when something happens in life where a door closes or whatever the fuck,
Mhm.
I always see like a window that crawls open. I could fit my fat ass through or something. I just think I'm that bitch, but at the same
Yes.
time, I'd rather die first epically and get a really fierce kill.
Get the best death scene.
Get the best death, and then
Yeah.
like you come back in the sequel because they're like everyone talked about like, oh, I wish she was in the movie more, and you come back and then it's revealed you're the killer at the end of the second one, and it's
Ooh.
a gag.
Well,
Wasn't that Saw?
Probably.
oh, it was Saw.
It
yeah.
was the first one, but the
Yeah.
rest of them can fucking have a seat.
Well, no, because Amanda
Yeah.
came
I like
back. 'cause
Saw.
Amanda came back
Yeah.
in 3, but Amanda
She
was
came
in
back.
1, and then she came back in 3.
Yeah, she was a
as
victim and then she was the killer.
Yeah.
It's all trash.
How dare you.
Yeah.
Put your finger down,
How dare
Drew
you.
Talbot FX.
I'm
Um,
sorry, but it's all trash.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down. I mean, also I think she's a trash killer in Dead by Daylight, but
Thank
I
you.
found it sad.
Thank
She's
you.
a great character. She's a fantastic character in that franchise.
No, ma'am. I
You're-
will fight you to the
I'm
death.
I'm
Done.
gonna I'm
Dear,
gonna,
earrings
Dear,
are
what
already
about
off, let's
you?
go.
Do you be a final girl?
well I will be the killer because the pig is the best killer. So you're going down Hunties. Bye.
Ma'am.
No.
Are we playing Debbie Delight now? Are we gonna
Let's
play Debbie
go.
Delight?
Let's go, bitch. I will get
Do
you
it.
with my little drill. I'm wearing the
Slap me,
leather. I will get you with my little drill. Well,
Come.
serious on a more serious note. I would be killed first because have you seen me?
It's those big titties.
It's the blue hair. Like
They'll see me and they'll be like, "That bitch is a whore. She must die."
Exactly. Whores die first.
That's about highlighter. She's bioluminescent and she can't hide in the dark.
Yeah, no.
She's literally a jellyfish.
Literally-
Shining beacon for the killer.
Literally, Ida said, "I can hide," and I'm like, "With that volume,
And the shiny
With the-
metallic
with that
and
volume,
the glitter.
I will suspend
Brisk
my
walking
disbelief."
Her way to escape.
It looks like our time is just about up. I want to give you all a spotlight to plug your favorite things, talk about your next project, say a little bit about yourself, tell the kids where to find you. Bish Pubs, you are up.
Hi everybody, I'm Bitch Pudding. That's BIQTCHPUDDIN. You can find me on all social media platforms. I started the digital drag show on Twitch. We are doing a New Year's show, so stay tuned for that. We're launching our cast probably Monday or Tuesday of next week, so it's going to be fierce. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be awesome. Catch me on my stream on Twitch. I stream also fighting games and video. I play with DEERE. I play with a lot of these people. We have a good time over there and have a good community. Also, if anyone hasn't told you today that you're amazing, you're beautiful, and deserve to be on this planet, I'm here to tell you you're amazing. You're so goddamn beautiful. You deserve to be on this planet. And last but not least, if you guys want to check out something in spirit of Christmas, you can check out December on Amazon. It's a advent calendar of horror films. I'm in one of them, directed by Stan Wyman, who is directing a queer horror doc for Shudder that's coming out hopefully next year. So stay tuned for that. So that's gonna be really great because it covers a lot of topics we talked about tonight. The segment I am in December though is called Milk and Cookies. So if you're looking for the Milk and Cookies one, you'll see me.
Thank you so much, bitch.
Thanks for having me, girl. And y'all, let's give a round of applause real quick before we go to the rest of the people. DEERE's fucking put this Dream Queen Con fucking shit together.
Yes.
Like, come the fuck through. I know she's had a lot of help too. I'm not like, shout out to the people who's getting help, but literally, like, DEERE's come through. Like, she mentioned this months ago, and the fact that,
it's happening.
It's coming to fruition, combining a lot of different elements of streamers, people not from Twitch. Like, this is a great aspect. Like,
You're not watching it, it's happening to you.
Boom.
But thank you so much. I couldn't do it without, everybody's help and everyone putting in content. Speaking of putting in content, Dr. Eat a Salad, who you might see very soon. Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to talk about?
Yes, thank you so much for having me. My name is Eat a Salad, Twitch's resident plus-sized vegan drag queen, proud member of Team Stream Queens. You can find me on all social media platforms at Eat a Salad, EDA Salad. Tomorrow, we will be kicking off Stream Queens Con with, first and foremost, with Yo Girl. I am hosting the Road to the Big Leagues LGBTQIA+ in esports. We've got a fantastic panel full of champions, hosts, esports professionals. I mean, this is a big deal. These people were on Netflix, and they have taken the time to come into my little dog and pony show and talk to me about what they do and how queer people have influenced esports and what the future is for queer esports in general. So I'm very, very excited. So that's going to be tomorrow morning at 10:15 a.m. Pacific time. So I'd love it if you would all join and ask lots of questions so I can pass them on to them. But other than that, I do stream here on Twitch, twitch.tv/eatasalad. I play whatever the hell I want.
Yes.
Work.
Thank you so much, Eat a Salad. Everyone tune into the panel tomorrow. You heard 10 a.m. Pacific. And how about Drew Talbot? What are you up to? Got anything to plug? Anything to talk about? Tell me.
Bitch, I'm just trying to live my life. You know what? It's 2020.
Same.
It's 2020.
True.
I'm just trying to live my goddamn life.
Trying to breathe.
But you know what I've started this year is some digital design work, and I've opened a Teespring shop.
Yes.
Of dumb shit that I draw that I don't think anybody.
Beautiful stuff.
Things that we will purchase if you plug your link right now.
Yeah.
Boom.
So it's in my bio in Twitter and Instagram. My Twitter and Instagram is hands and head, so it's all one word. You spell out the word and you got it. But it's in the bio. I focus on nerdy and queer shit. So if it's nerdy and it's queer and you like it, I got it.
Thank you so much. My personal winner of Face Off. I forget what season, but my personal winner of he was on Face Off, y'all. You're sleeping on him.
You always do.
I'm trying to make you just.
I want to say 3.
47.
Oh,
It was
shit.
maybe 47.
Yeah, it was 47.
Thank
for
you
sure.
so much. You're my baby. You're my star.
I love you, Queen. Thank you.
Speaking of baby and star, Miss Shannon Van Pelt.
Well, you can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Shannon Van Pelt. I do sculpting, so you can see like whips and finished products and stuff that I have for sale, mostly on Instagram or Twitter. Normally I do traditional, but I'm kind of going into digital a little bit. I'm going to be working on another commission of the clown from Dead by Daylight. So that's kind of like my new project right now. But yeah, at Shannon Van Pelt.
Thank you so much. Can we have a round of applause for all of our participants? Yes.
I applaud
And
all of you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for appearing. And My name is Deer. Let's Play What You Fear. You can catch me on twitch.tv/Deer, other socials at Deer, DEARDEERE. Thank you so much, everyone that has attended Final Girls, the final panel of Stream Queens Con Day 3. And we have Day 4 coming up tomorrow. And you're not going to want to miss it. Anyway, good night, everybody. Let's play Dead by Daylight. I'm going to kill you all.
Yes.
Your days are numbered.
Anytime, bitch.
I'm gonna teabag you and get my Jenny at the same time.